Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You can see the kangaroo on the side of that 105 leFH18B2, or leFH as some people call it. That means that leFH belongs to ProvoBob because he's Australian and he lives in Queensland. Now he's on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and we've got a couple of replays for you from ProvoBob. Battle underway. Well, of course, as all of you know, but those of you who don't know, this Arty is actually designed based on the Panzer, not the Panzer B2, but the Char B1, the French tier 5? I think it's tier 4 heavy tank. Maybe tier 5. I'll have to check that one. I'm maybe getting it wrong. But anyway, it's based on the French Char B1, and the Germans captured quite a number of them at the after the capture of France, the fall of France in 1940, and they decided to use some of them as prized panzer, or Butpanzer as you call it, or they called it. And the Germans were very good at doing that. They would actually take tanks that they captured and then put them into their own use, and that would actually save them a lot of money. Oh, that Stuart made a bad decision to go in there. Oh, ProvoBob took that shot and pulled to one side because he wanted to get a shot in the Excelsior, but luckily we did see what actually happened to the shell. We've now got a Panzer Selbstfahrerbetter PSC, the death toaster. That shot did not do anything, unfortunately. But there's a large number of enemy tanks down at the end of that high street. Looks like a fair number of them are going to come up through the town. I'm surprised that he's actually heading west though, because it'd be much better for him to move slightly east and get to the A7 box. Because if he gets in there, he should be able to shoot straight down the high street at the enemy tanks as they try to make their attack. I think he's got something else in mind. There's a number of enemy tanks right up at the centre line, plus there's one. Oh, well, there was one over on the west side of the map, but he's now been killed. That was the M5 Stuart. VK2001D. No, bit of a snap, wasn't fully dialed in. He is moving. You have to lead your target with enough lead to catch him. That was a bit better. That was on target, but the right amount of lead, but this time round he didn't get it. Okay, that T-28's moving quite quickly, so you need a long lead on that one. That looks good. It was a little too long, but it looked good. It looked like he'd found the course of the enemy vehicle, and it's just a question of laying the shell down in their path so that they drive straight into it. But it's very satisfying when you take out an enemy tank that's at the other end of the battlefield and you predict their course and get them directly. That's a nice hit on the VK2001D. The 134. Is he still there? No, the shell goes off to the right. And more than likely by now he's had a chance to move. There's no enemy target. Oh, the VK has moved. He's actually now going down to the town to join his teammates. Again, the snap was fired, and the snapshots don't tend to work very well. I'd say 1 in 10 snaps is likely to hit the target. The others are just completely wasted. Okay, that depth toaster would make a good target if he wasn't running into cover, but that Excelsior might be a much better target to hit. And he does get a hit, and he gets a penetrating shot as well. 445. The alpha of this Arty is 410, so if you get over 410, you must have penned him. Oh my god, he just killed the Churchill 3 with that shot. We didn't get a reading for the amount of damage he did, but it was a kill shot. And now he's just killed the Excelsior with the very next round as well. So there's 2 kills there for ProvoBob. I'm pretty certain he probably killed the Churchill with a penetrating shot as well, because it seemed like he just came around the corner and just instantly died. I don't know if he'd taken damage before, but it certainly looked as if he was wiped out by that round. We'll have to have a look at that later, because it might be that he actually did get hit by somebody else. But he's very, very dead, and that VK just took a nasty hit as well. Okay, we've got an SU-76GFT who's stationary to take a shot, so we fully dialed in. A direct hit wipes him out as well, so that's 3 kills now for ProvoBob. Fires a quick snapshot at what was potentially an enemy tank moving just behind the wreck. Okay, he's looking around for... There's the VK again, and he's very low on hit points. The KV-1 will finish him off with 1 shot. He does. Over on the other side of the battlefield. Oh, we've got a 60GFT who's basically a 1-shot now. But he's backing away. And, well, ProvoBob tried a snap on that one, and the shell went to the right-hand side. But I suppose that you can justify that and say it was... Oh, my God, he just got him with a blind shot on the next one. He was hiding behind the windmill, but he planted a round in there. And, yes, he was there. So that's 4 kills now for ProvoBob in this game. DW2, rounds out, a bit late on that one. Okay, it looks like that DW2 is going to go right the way down to this road and come up here, in which case ProvoBob might get some good shots on him, but for the fact that obviously we can't see him now. So instead, ProvoBob's going to shoot at the Wolverine. It's almost at maximum range. That's why he's got a flattened reticule. Long range shots. Now he's pulled back into cover temporarily. But ProvoBob can still land a shell on top of him. Rounds out. Long flight time. Oh, he did! He got him! He definitely hit him. There was no explosion. Even at that long range, the shell went right onto the Wolverine. Is he still there? No, he is not. The shell went to the left, but he's going to give it another shot just in case. And yes, the Wolverine has moved away. 3.8 seconds is how long it takes for the shell to get there. If you're ever in game, you can see these shells arcing through the sky of the battlefield. Really high. Another... snapshot on that Death Toaster. Unfortunately, again, didn't hit. But he's pretty certain the guy's behind that building. Unfortunately, we've got no sight on him now. In fact, the only other teammates we've got still alive are the T67 and the T34, which kind of means that it would be a good idea now for ProvoBob to be very cautious about what shots he takes, because, or which shots, because he has no idea where the enemy is. And it looks like the enemy Arty knew where Bob was, because he just fired a round in near where he was. The enemy Arty in this game is in a gorilla, and he's got a reasonably short range, so he had to be up close near to the center line to get that shot in. Well, this is a wise decision actually to go up to the west side, because the enemy's going to be coming up from the town. And the best place for Bob to be would be over in the, slightly in the depression, so they can't actually see him every time he fires, but not so low that he can't shoot up over the top of that ridge line into the enemy as they make their way forward. The T67 will give him more than enough warning of where the enemy is. And here comes the first customer, a Type 95. Yes, this would be a good spot. Behind the house, so you've got cover from anything coming up from the south. But he's now looking over towards where the Type 95 was seen. Hopefully the T67 will soon reacquire him. And oh, we found the Death Toaster. Okay, he's dialing in for an accurate shot. He tried to snap there. Well, unfortunately, it did go straight, but it didn't hit the Death Toaster. He's got 17 rounds of HE, 5 rounds of heat. I think he saw some destruction going on and aimed at the destruction. Oh, and he's just received a hit from an enemy tank, KV-1 shielded. So he was seen. Now, from the direction that shell came in, it looks like it came in from the town. So maybe he's just not far enough down in the depression, and the enemy can see him sitting up here on the high part. He's taking a bit of a risk going this direction because we know the Wolverine is down here as well. There's the Type 95. He's a one-shot, but it's going to take him a little while to dial in. Just take your time. Don't keep moving the reticule too often. And there's the enemy DW2. He's come straight across from the town, across the fields. He's not even worried, but he will be worried very shortly. That looks good. Just short. Do it again. Well, that was a hit. It looked like it hit the turret as well for 79. Go for it again. Nice hit. 98 this time. And he's all alone now because his teammate in the south was wiped out. And the T-67 has gone as well. So, yep, I think this one is going to be a loss unless he can repel 6 enemy. I've seen it done before in one of these Arties, but it's very difficult to do it, mainly because all of them were trying to come at him on that occasion, and on this occasion the enemy doesn't need to. All they need to do is cap, and they will win. And if he tries to look and find out where they are, he might actually be spotted. The only way you can do that is to actually go up on a bush. And there's a bush just to his left there. He's not using it. And he has been seen, and it looks like the Wolverine. So he's going into the aim. He's auto-aiming. Oh, he got him! Nice shot. The Guerrillas just fired at him and missed. The Guerrilla tried a snapshot as well, but they got 2 in the cap. And there's no way he's going to be able to stop them from doing that. And here comes the KV-1 shielded. And he wipes him out with 1 round. And they capped out as well. Here's the end of battle results. And sadly that was a loss, a defeat on Fisherman's Bay. But you can see that ProvoBob managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he ended up with 5 in that game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 10. And his win rate from the battle was 5,693. Now, we did say we'd have a quick look and see some of the details. We can see that he actually did 82 hit points of damage to the Churchill and killed him with a shot. So there wasn't a fire, there wasn't an ammo rack or anything like that. The Churchill must have lost quite a lot of hit points before he was killed, but the Excelsior, he did a lot more damage, and yes, he did penetrate the Excelsior with one of those shots, and that's why he got a high roll in the game. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, actually, but he was close. The highest damage was the 60G FT that he took out. He got a high caliber for 1,986 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the KV-1 on his own team with 1,977. And the third highest damage was ProvoBob with 1,934. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 5. 3 kills each went to the 60G FT, the Death Toaster, and the Wolverine, and 2 kills went to the Stug 3G and also the KV-1S that KV-1 shielded that actually took him out at the end of the game, and he got a steel wall whilst the Excelsior got a cool headed. When it came to base XP, it's the enemy team that comes out on top here, and the KV-1 shielded got 908, 740 went to the 60G FT, and 699 went to the Churchill 3, with ProvoBob getting 500. So again, not too far behind. It was actually better than some of the enemy team, I think, here. Yes, from there on downwards. So there was 6 members of the enemy team above him. So he was actually in 8th place overall, because there was 1 member of his own team who got more than he did. He fired 35 shots in that game, got 12 direct hits on the enemy and 3 penetrations. It's a lot easier to get penetrating shots with this Arty when you're fighting at tier 5. He did 11 splashes as well, 1,934 hit points of damage, of which 1,866 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. 3 of those were penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and he blocked damage of 110 hit points in total. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and he earned 36,966 credits from the game, 30,000 for completing a mission, 66,966 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did use standard ammo throughout, 61,199 credits profit. He also picked up 25 bonds and 1,050 XP from that game. So that was a pretty good game. Even though he actually died, he fired a lot of snapshots in it, and the snapshots obviously missed the target. But on the other side of the coin, we must say that he did get some rather nice accurate shots in there, especially that one at the Excelsior, the following shot at the Churchill, which took that out. And I think the best shot of all in that game was the SU-76 GFT, where he aimed behind the windmill. Was it the SU-76? No, well, that was a good shot anyway. No, it was the 60 GFT that was the really good one, where the guy was parked behind the windmill and he didn't move very far from where ProvoBob hit him the last, or fired at him the last time, and he got him outright with a blind shot. That was excellent. So let's have a look at the second battle involving ProvoBob. Here's the second replay, and it's in the Tier 6 Soviet SPG, the SU-8. Now I think you can see that we're on the Westfield map, northeast spawn. And you can also see that ProvoBob's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun, and quite a few marks of excellence down below as well, showing he's actually quite practiced at this Arty. Well, somebody's knocking trees down. It looks like the tank destroyers have decided to set up shop and make their nest. So Bob's firing around it, and he definitely hit somebody there. So for knocking all those trees down, they've just paid by taking a round from this 152mm howitzer. He's now going to aim for the KV-1. Oh, I think we know who he hit as well. The IKV-65-2 has just been spotted, and he's missing most of his hit points. So it looks like ProvoBob got a penetrating shot on the IKV. Either that or he hit the SU-85, who's also missing a large number of his hit points as well. And now he's missing some more. That Nashorn is an AFK, but he's just sitting there, so ProvoBob's going to put around him. We just noticed where one of the enemy Arty is. They've got an FV304, and he's located fairly close in the bushes. See, that round just hit the KV-1. ProvoBob's going to put a round in there as well. And yes, he hits one of the KV-1s as well. The guy used his repair kit, so his first aid kit rather, so he's not going to be able to use it again when he gets hit the second time. And I think ProvoBob's going to be firing around him, which will help his teammate, who just stunned both those enemies. And oh my god, he just helped himself to that KV-1. The other one's pulling back. He's not happy bunny. He's even trying to use the wreck for armor, but it didn't help him, and he's out the game. The SU-100 is trying to run for it. Rounds out. Close. Stunned him. He's trying to retreat now. He knows it's just too hot. He's seen all the tanks ahead of him get wiped out. So there might not be somebody. Well, we'll have to see if there's somebody in those bushes. He fires around in. There is an explosion, so it might have splashed one of the people in there, one of the tank destroyers. Okay, he's gone over to the other side of the battlefield. We've got a VK-3001H. Oh, he's dead. A couple of other enemy tanks. A VK-3002M, the Panther prototype. And we've just noticed where the other enemy Arty is. He's in amongst the trees. And that was a direct hit on the VK, because there was no explosion there either. The Nashorn's still there. He has taken some damage. I think one of those shots was from ProvoBob. He's going for it again. Letting it dial in fully before he shoots. Rounds out. Right on target. And a nice critical hit. Hit the front of the vehicle where the armor's strongest. The armor's weakest at the rear. And then we just saw where the FV304 is located. He's just amongst those trees. He's moved up. He's a bit further forward, I think, Bob. We'll see his tracer any second if he fires again. Oh, no, he's decided to run away. Run away. Run away. Rounds out. Looks good. Oh my god, he's a direct hit! 219 hit points on a moving FV304. And those things are the fastest Arty in the game. And he's subsequently gone out of the game because somebody else hit him as well. So, yes, it's 6-all at the moment on losses. All our heavy tanks have died as well. Rounds out. Trying to hit the M10 RBFM. Oh, there was another tank destroying those bushes, an IKB-65-2, but he's been killed, and the SU-100 just got wiped out by the enemy SU-85. So, are there any more over here? There should be. Just the SU-85. I think the SU-100 ran away. He's guessing that the SU-85's in those bushes. Our bathtub is getting close to him, the S35CA, so he might get shot at in shortly. We're dialing in on the M10. And he killed him! A splash kill there. He didn't get a direct hit, but he did enough damage to take him out of the game. So, VK3002M trying to make his way up the hill. Takes a direct hit for 202. Makes him a one-shot for anyone now. Only 9 hit points. An easy kill. Can ProvoBob get him? I hope so. He's almost loaded. He's trying to work out where he's going to be. Oh, so close. He stunned him. Next round he will get him if he's close enough. Come on, Bob. You can do it. Line him up. So let it contract. Oh, he fired snap. Yeah, that missed. He fired snap. He should have just let it dial in on the new position. Now, he's got a bit of a puzzle here. Does he move from his current position? Because an enemy tank is getting close. It's the P-43 Biz, and all he's got nearby is the gorilla, his teammate. I'm not sure the P-43 is going to try and cap. The reason being that there's a Hellcat nearby and also an S35CA. But he's guarding against the SU-85 and SU-100, making a trip across the hill to the north. Or to the west, I should say. No, the P-43's gone up the other side of the valley to attack the Hellcat, who's retreated. Rounds out. Close. Stunned him. Splashed him. Now, just keep him occupied, and that'll make it easy for the Hellcat to get the kill. Come on, don't let that guy get a shot at the Hellcat. Both got 90mm guns. Rounds out. Looks good. Nice hit. 190. It stunned him, but the Hellcat did go down to the P-43 in the end. And that P-43 knows there's an Arty behind him, so he's going to be headed this way, and he is headed this way. He's not happy, and he just took another Arty hit from the gorilla. Okay, load around. Don't fire it until you have precise view of that P-43. The S35CA will probably watch for him. He's come down to the edge of the hill, so he can probably see him as he gets close. But hold that round in, because you might have to shotgun that P-43 if he gets really close. He's gone behind the houses. He knows that he's been seen, but he's just waiting to be unseen so he can then come out and make an attack. Now he's going to the aim. I've seen him take... Oh, he's come close. He's actually very, very close. But the S-35 finishes him off. So there's no worry there. And now there's only 4 enemies left. They've got an Arty. And that Arty is actually attacking at this moment. I think he was going after the Gorilla more than the ProvoBob. SU-100 close by, just on the cliff top. Now, does ProvoBob move? If he's seen, he'll probably be taken out. So he's... Oh, and he's actually been saved because the SU-100 got taken out by our Achilles, who came back to help. Now, should he move? I think so. Now he can move because there's nobody watching him as he goes. This is good. Relocate to stay alive. I think he can go up into the tree line near the Achilles and the T-52. It'll be much more difficult to spot in amongst those trees. All the enemies got left now are the T-67 and an SU-85. So if the rest of the team, and the rest of the team are now moving towards the enemy cap area, so it might be a good idea for him to follow. And in fact, actually, they are indicating, in fact, ProvoBob was indicating for the Gorilla to take up position on the east side of the map, further down. The S-35CA can cover the cap area, whilst ProvoBob can cover the attack of the T-52 and the Achilles. And if the enemy is spotted, he'll stun them, splash them, and then serve them up as a quick fast food meal for the T-52 and the Achilles to take out. This is good work. So many Arty players just stay by the cap area where they spawn. They never move in the battlefield, but the Artys that do move are usually the ones that take advantage of the enemy's weakness. And sometimes they end up capping, never having been seen by the enemy, and getting a Raider-Invader combination, which is very satisfying, I can tell you. The Achilles has found one of them. It's the T-67. He just took some damage. ProvoBob instantly goes to aim view. Unfortunately, we just lost our Achilles, but we're dialing in on the Fifi of the enemy team, just spotted in that area. Rounds out. Direct hit! No explosion, so he got a direct hit on the Fifi, and I think he's probably been badly damaged. Unfortunately, we just lost the T-52 as well, because he didn't change position. Rounds out. And he's just killed the Fifi with a blind shot. Unfortunately, that means now that there's only 2 left on the enemy team. Both the tank destroyers, the SU-85 and the T-67. And the T-67 has been spotted heading towards our cap area. He's just met the Gorilla. You'll probably kill him with one shot. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't stop to do it either. Oh, he does! He stopped! But he did kill him. And that was a bit of a snap from Bob. We're going to lose sight. Yes, we've lost sight of the T-67, so the bathtub has to go back. Otherwise, the T-67 will go into the cap, and we won't be able to determine where he is to lay the shots down accurately. But all he has to do is spot the T-67 as he caps, and then ProvoBob can wipe him out. Although ProvoBob's only got 1 round left. In all that action, I did not see that he's run out of ammunition. He's only got 1. You don't get that much ammunition on this Arty. Only 26 rounds. And ProvoBob's been firing them out. Well, not willy-nilly. He's been using them good because he's actually got 1,415 hit points of damage so far. But he needs to make his next shot very, very accurate to make it count, because it's his last one. Unfortunately, all he gets is stun. But the S-35 kills the T-67, and now ProvoBob needs to cap. Only trouble is, if he goes down into the cap, then the Su-85 will more than likely try and kill him. He's got an 85mm gun, or he should have. ProvoBob should hit the C key to let everyone know that he's got no ammo left. If you've run out of ammo, just tell your teammates no ammo. But if you hit the C key or the F8 key, it lets them know in chat that you've got no ammo left. There's not enough time for him to cap out on his own, and the S35CA is taking a long time to arrive because it is a tank destroyer with a very slow speed. But it does mean the enemy can't win by capping either. They haven't got enough time. And basically all ProvoBob can do now is act as bait for the enemy. If the Su-85 is watching his cap, then ProvoBob's sixth sense will go off and he'll know that the enemy's watching him. But he can't cap because he hasn't got enough time. So all he can do is act as a bait to draw the enemy to fire and let the S35CA take him out with one accurate shot from his gun. Where are you? Are you up here? He hasn't been seen. And he's running out of time. Less than 10 seconds now. I think this is going to end up as a draw. And it has. Well, that was an exciting battle. It was also an ace tanker game for ProvoBob in the Su-8. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. A Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And on top of that, he got a win rate of 4,690, which is Super Unicum standard, which means he did incredibly well. It's just a pity that they could not find that last enemy. And I have to wonder what that Su-85 was doing. He probably ran away thinking either he'd run out of ammunition, or ran away because he didn't want to get killed, and he feared that if he stayed near his own cap then he would get killed. But he was not there at the end and they could not find him. So let's have a look at the team score and see where everyone was. Well, there he is right at the top of the table with 2,396 for ProvoBob. He got the highest damage, and the second highest damage was the Su-100 on the enemy team, 1,894, followed by their P43Bs with 1,827. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between ProvoBob, who got 3 kills, the Su-100 and the P43Bs, and their Fifi, who he got with a blind shot. All got 3 kills each. And when it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob, yes, because he got the most damage. He ended up with the most XP because it's a drawn game. 713 went to ProvoBob, and he's way over the next high scorer, which was the enemy Fifi, who got 454, followed by their M10 RBFM with 440. Bob fired all 26 rounds of ammunition. The Su-8 doesn't have enough ammo in my view. In fact, ridiculously small amount. Same as the Hummel in the sense that, well, it's not the same as in number in the Hummel, but the Hummel doesn't carry enough ammunition as well. All of these SPGs did have vehicles that serviced them and carried spare ammunition to keep them firing. He got 9 direct hits on the enemy in that game and 1 penetration, 17 splash. Damage of 2,396 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I'm fascinated to know which one actually got the penetrating shot. Oh, there, straight away we can see it was the IKV-65-2. We said during the battle that he was very low on hit points. He lost 524 hit points in one shot, which is a low roll because the alpha is 550. So he did take that blind shot right at the start where he was knocking trees down, and ProvoBob put a round in there and it went straight through his armor and took away most of his hit points with one fell swoop. Very well played that. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged in that game, 3 were destroyed, and 281 hit points of damage assistance plus 619 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. He earned 45,194 credits from the game, 5,373 from Courageous Resistance because he got a Battle Hero or Epic Medal. In fact, he got 2 Battle Heroes in that game, but it was a drawn game. And the total came to 50,567 credits altogether. After ammunition, resupply and consumables, he still took away a profit of 9,507 credits. He also picked up 1,702 XP. So consolation prize, even though it was a drawn game, he did get an ace tanker. He did make a profit on both credits and XP, and I'm sure he actually enjoyed it, because towards the end it was a possibility that even if he'd actually baited the enemy into firing at him and putting a shot into him, he might have actually been able to get the win for his team by allowing that S35 to get the kill shot on the SU-85. So well done to ProvoBob, another ace tanker in the SU-8. A much more interesting game, this one, than the last one, and quite dangerous as well. At one point I thought that P43 was going to get him, but yeah, it all worked out okay in the end in terms of, well, at least he got a draw out of it. I don't think a draw was on the cards on the other game on Fisherman's Base, simply because there was just so many enemy. One of them was bound to get him in the end. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that those replays from ProvoBob. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.